Hi, this is the Love Your Life Show with Susie Pettit, Certified Life and Wellness Coach. Join Susie as she helps you with your wellness and mindset so you can live a life you love. Let's go, warriors!
Hi, warriors! Welcome to another Love Your Life Show episode with me, your coach, Susie Pettit. I'm a certified life and parent coach, and I come to you every week bringing you tips and tools to help you live a life you love. And this week is no different. I am bringing you a podcast going through 4 different money personality types that when you can figure out which type you lean towards helps you a lot. So thanks for tuning in. I'm super energetic this morning. It is morning. I haven't been recording in the mornings here because my time zone in Australia makes it so that many of my clients, I get started first thing in the morning with them. But I was up a little early and I'm a little excited and I wanted to record this. So here we are. Let's go. And I want to sort of piggyback on last week's episode on money and money mindset with the awesome expert Liz Carroll. And I want to get into these money personalities. I first sort of want to do a check in with you that did you even know that money mindset was a thing? That how, money fits into the thought model in the way many of our other stuff does, that money is just a thing. And then we have thoughts about it that make us feel how we want to feel. So how do you want to feel when you think about money? Sort of a question. Did you know that you're in charge of that? It's not the money that you have or don't have that makes you feel how you feel or don't feel about money. That was news to me. Okay, money is neutral. It's in the circumstance line. As I just said, it's our thoughts about money that make us feel what we feel. And I sometimes get people pushing back on this, but let me just tell you how I know that's true. So here's a question for you. Say you open your bank account app right now and you see a balance of $35 total. What would you feel? I know myself, I'd feel panic. I would have just such tightness in my chest. Why? Because of the $35? No, because of the thought that my brain fired so fast to get me to feel the panic. My thought along the lines of, oh my gosh, what in the world happened? Where did my money go? Oh my gosh, I don't even have enough to pay my cell bill. Thoughts like that fire the feeling of panic. And yet, dear warriors, say my 6-year-old niece gets a bank app and I say, everything in there is yours, sweetheart. And she opens it up and she sees $35. What would she feel? Ecstatic, joyful. I swear I can see her right now doing a little dance around the room. Why? Because of the $35? Same amount of money. No, she feels ecstatic because of her thoughts. Because she's thinking, oh my gosh, take me to the sticker store or something like that. And I'm feeling panicked because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't afford the chicken for the week. Okay, money is just a number. It doesn't have power until you give it power. It's just numbers, and we get to choose what we think about it. The thoughts we choose create how we feel, which drive the actions we take with money and in our lives and create the results we see. Okay, I will link some other podcasts about money. I did a whole bunch of them back in June. It was before COVID. Okay, because this work is so important. It has changed my life. And if you're looking for a place to practice right now or get coaching on this, join the Midlife Membership. We're working on this the whole month. Okay, all this, it is not too late to join. Don't let your brain tell you that. Okay, the day that you join, you get a month from that day, and all this stuff in there is amazing. If you have not worked with a coach on your money mindset, I encourage you to hop in there now. How we think about money influences how we think about ourselves. It influences our children and the other people around us. Coaches help you dig into your beliefs and kindness and direct you in a healthier way. Okay, you cannot erase years of programming by yourself. All right, so let's go. And today's topic is super helpful to think about. I'm calling it the 4 money personalities. I loved learning about these 4 money personalities or ways of being around money. So I encourage you to sort of open up your mind and put down the shame and see which one of these you fit into. Okay. If you share finances with a partner, be a partner and share this podcast so he or she can figure out his or her personality too. It's so helpful. And just note, dear warrior, how I said share the podcast and let them figure it out versus, hey, I listened to this podcast and I think you're a da-da-da. That can lead to a little bit of defensiveness. Share the podcast. Money can evoke some deep emotions. Be kind to yourself and them, okay? While money isn't something we talk about as openly as would be helpful for our mental health, the more you learn about what you think about money and how those thoughts make you feel, the better you're going to feel and the more peaceful a relationship with money you'll have, the less of a trigger it'll have over your life. So let's dive in. Let's drop the judgment, blame, or shame of ourselves. Put on that judgment-free hat like Susie's always telling you to do, because the clearer and kinder you can look at yourself and your tendencies, the more helpful this will be for you. It's so awesome. Okay, so let's dive in. The first one I'm going to talk about is the spender. Okay, the spender likes to spend. If she or he has money, she spends it. She even spends sometimes if she doesn't have money. She likes to give extravagantly to her friends and to herself. Spenders often see their possessions as extensions of their self-worth. If they have that nice car or fancy handbag, they feel respected and important. Okay, spenders are often concerned with what other people think of them and how they appear to others. Whether or not they can afford it, that designer bag or fancy car makes them feel respected. So common behaviors of spenders, if this is sounding like you or someone you love, their closet has items that have never been used, possibly with the tag still on it. Okay? Spenders usually have a package coming in the mail or a shopping bag in their hand, or like a plan to go shopping very soon. They might like to wow their friends with gifts. They might have a place in their house to hide their purchases. They sometimes talk themselves into purchasing things by saying something like, I deserve this. They also often have debt, spend impulsively, and avoid looking at bills. Here's some advice for spenders, because you know me, I'm not just going to be like, oh, that's you, go for it. Enjoy that. No, here's some advice. I'll give you advice for each of the personality types. Look at your numbers. Separate out fact from fiction. How much money do you have? How much money does it take to run your house? How much extra is available to spend? What are your long-term saving goals? Okay, and if you're a spender, you probably are on the verge of a panic attack right now. So I just encourage you to, that one piece right there, if you do nothing else this week and go to the show notes and get those 4 questions out and answer them over the week, set a timer for 10 minutes every day and just write down something on any of those answers. Okay, your life is going to change. You're going to feel better about yourself and your money and your spending. Okay, I do have a couple other tools you could do too. So you could brainstorm on the value you bring to other people's lives that doesn't have to do with possessions or things. Okay, do you enjoy sitting and talking with people? Okay, sometimes spenders can think thoughts like, people like me because of what I provide. And sometimes they link their self-worth with their net worth. Okay, so if you have the thought that you'll lose friends if you stop spending money on them, here's a permission slip to get a coach. You are worth far more than an extravagant gift or a fancy meal. Okay. Third thing you could do if you're a spender, a certain amount of spending is fine, yet anything done to the extreme is unhelpful. So if you identify as a spender, you're going to be your best self when you set spending limits ahead of time. Like before you go to the mall or before you click on that, Anthropology or whatever. Just be like, okay, I'm not going to spend more than $100 or $500 or $5,000. I don't know, whatever your number is. You've already done that in the first step, looking at your numbers, but choosing a spending limit ahead of time. Another thing that works really well is to keep a wish list of things you want instead of purchasing them as you think of them. You could even use the urge jar for that we talked about in an earlier episode. Such fun. Okay, moving on to type number 2, the saver. On the other side of the coin, pun intended, is the personality type called the saver. Savers like to save their money. They think money belongs in a bank account, and they often have trouble spending it. They can think they don't deserve nice things or don't feel worthy of spending on items that are nice when there's an option of good enough. They also have a fear of running out of money or not having enough someday. Savers see money as security And without their certain safe amount, they feel nervous and out of control. Yet no matter how much money a saver has, she will always fear that one false move or unexpected disaster will make her poor without some sort of deliberate work on this area. Okay, common behaviors of savers. A saver has trouble spending money on herself. They are always looking for the best deal, a great bargain, or the sale rack. She has a hard time admitting to her partner or even herself that she's paid full price for something. Savers are always saving their money for that hypothetical rainy day, just sort of like putting it away and like not looking at it, like those squirrels that like bury the acorns all over the yard and they don't even know where they put them, but they're just like burying them. Okay. Here's some advice for savers. Similar to spenders, look at your numbers. Separate out fact from fiction. How much do you have? How much does it take to run your house? How much is necessary to save? What are your long-term goals? Okay, that is hugely helpful for savers. Okay, this is my personality type. This is my money type. And when I can get really clear, I'm like, here's the number that I need. Then after that, and I push myself into some of this other advice that I teach us to do, okay, that is super helpful. So look at your numbers. Remember, I'm a mindfulness coach. Bring your mindful, so like pay attention to those numbers. Okay. Another piece of advice for savers, set a spend budget. Okay, seriously, if you're a saver, push yourself to spend on nice things for you. Choose to spend money on fun things. Yes, you are worth it. No, the world is not going to end. Yes, there's more than enough money to go around. There's not a pot of money for the world. And once that's gone, it's gone. It's not like a pie and we all get a piece. And if I get a bigger piece and you get a smaller piece. Okay, they speak about money is like the oxygen in the room. You don't need to take big gasps of air to save it for later this afternoon. Okay, when we're together, like if I take a breath, that doesn't mean there's less for you. You get to use what you need now, as there will always be enough for you. Choose a money mindset mantra about abundance and practice it daily. All right, next money personality type is the avoider. Avoiders avoid looking at their accounts, talking about their finances, and making financial decisions. They can be either savers or spenders. Their avoidance creates stress and friction in their lives, often also in their relationships. Okay, as with all these money personalities, the beliefs and thoughts we have about money are deep-rooted in our past and how we were raised. That doesn't mean they can't be fixed in an instant, but we have to look at them first. That's some of what we're doing in the group this month. Okay, but money avoiders often have had past experiences, their own or sometimes like that they've witnessed, like their parents, where money was a source of disagreement and tension. Money avoiders tend to think of money and discussions about money with negativity, friction, or fear. Okay, it is no wonder they avoid money discussions or decisions if that's like what they're thinking about. Okay, common behaviors of avoiders are they are uncomfortable talking or thinking about money. Like if their partner says, "Hey, can we talk about our spending this month?" That might like just send them, like their whole nervous system might go into an immediate alert. Okay, an avoider might let her bills stack up because she feels a sense of dread thinking of opening them up. Okay, avoiders can tend to hide purchases from their partner. They avoid making financial goals or plans. Avoiders often put someone else in charge of their money. Like sort of, they're just like, I don't want to do it. And they don't know any of their login details. They don't know. And they just, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a parent. Okay. They're sort of like hands a financial person. So advice for avoiders, get this guys, start looking at your numbers. I'm laughing, but it is so uncomfortable. But the thing with avoiders is avoiders think they'll avoid discomfort by putting off looking, by putting off paying bills, by putting off talking about money. But in reality, from other things we've talked about on this show, when we avoid some sort of future feeling state, we stay in a negative feeling state much longer. Okay? So avoiders often report a sense of relief when they finally look, even if that number is bad or low. And so yes, choose to look. Okay, seriously, it's that simple. Simple is not easy. Okay, I know you're telling yourself it's hard, yet by avoiding money, you're actually doing it harder. Avoiding looking at your accounts leads to unnecessary stress. You're adding a layer of drama into your life that is not needed, dear warrior. Your brain power is needed elsewhere. Please. Okay, you can have those like inanimate objects of the envelopes sitting on your desk and they're taking so much of your brain power. Open them up. The pain you're bringing into your life through avoiding is unnecessary. Time and time again, my clients resist looking at the accounts. They resist opening those envelopes. And yet when they finally do, they feel relief every single time, even if there's debt there. Not knowing is always worse than knowing. Okay, start small with daily action. Here, for avoiders, one tool that works really well for my clients is using an app called Mint. Okay, it's a free app. At least I know there's a free version. And you can keep all your financial info in one place: credit cards, bank accounts, mortgage, rental payments, all of it. Okay, it's an easy way to begin to move out of the avoidance pattern. Okay, maybe your first step towards healing could be to insert your account information into Mint without even looking at the numbers today. Just put the account numbers in. Okay, second step is you could set a daily alarm for yourself to look at the numbers every day. I do this. One click, look, I say thank you, money, and then I go about my day. Okay, healing begins. All right, fourth personality type is the money monk. Money monks tend to think thoughts about money being bad or dirty. They feel negatively towards money and wealthy people. They often think of money as a force unto itself, as if it's bad, and if they had it, they would do bad things. They think of money as like it has a power, and then if you have too much of it, it will corrupt you. It's almost like this out of control feeling. In general, money monks believe the thought that money is the root of all evil. They tend to be very judgmental about people with money and have trouble receiving money for their work in the world. Very often, they've had past experiences where money was used to manipulate them or their family. Or they remember a family member doing work to earn money in a way that conflicted with their values. In general, they have a very dark view of money, almost as if money is alive and an external force that they can't control. So some common behaviors of money monks: they resist charging fair market value for their work, or they resist asking for a raise. They tend to dismiss the value of money and say things like, I don't need money, or people who have lots of money are greedy. Money monks don't think it's okay to have more than you need, and so will often buy the cheap brand or go without. Okay. They can give away their work and sometimes even their things for free. And money monks don't trust money. They think it has the power to corrupt or change them or their relationships. They feel very unstable around it. They hold a deep fear of money that can lead them to feel out of control. And sort of on the other coin of those avoiders, but they're still avoiding money and looking at it. Okay, so advice for money monks, a powerful mantra for money monks is money makes you more of what you are. So if money monks could practice saying that daily and thinking of how they could use money to do some wonderful things in the world, that tends to help them, that money monk. Another piece of advice: do some journaling or coaching work on how you view yourself and your worth. Remind yourself that you are here on earth for a purpose, and that purpose provides a value to others. Money is a value, and receiving it in exchange for your service helps you reach more people. Another thing that really helps money monks is brainstorm a list of all the rich and generous people who are in this world. Okay, Oprah is someone I always think of, who has a lot of money, who treats herself extravagantly, and has used her money in amazingly generous and wonderful ways in the world. Okay, it's out there. So think of how money helps people. We often are looking at how it hurts. Look at how it helps. Okay, start to reprogram how you view money and to look at all the great things money does for you and for others. You could even say, the more money I have, the more I can help, is a mantra I like repeating. Okay, keep brainstorming, keep brainstorming, keep brainstorming. Answer this question: if I had more money, I would. And direct your mind to think of all the good things you could do with money. Again, money doesn't make you something you're not. If you're not greedy, money won't make you more greedy. Money makes you more of what you already are. It's like putting a magnifying glass on your personality. If you're a generous, caring individual, money will allow you to be more generous and caring. Okay, my coach, Brooke Castillo, who makes millions of dollars a year, always says we need more money in the hands of the good guys. And we need more people out there with the money so they can spread it and do all the good in the world. So that's the 4 personality types. After going through all 4 of them, which personality are you? Which one do you align with the most? What's your second one? Okay, over my life, I've had pieces of most of these personalities show up. Life is a journey of learning about ourselves. The more open, curious, and kind we can be to observe our behaviors and tendencies, the more we live a life we genuinely love and generously love. All right, my dear warriors, that was a lot today. I want you to take it in. I want you to send me a message on Instagram or write on one of the posts this week in social and tell me what your money personality is, your primary one that's showing up now. Okay, and I gave you lots of action steps there, lots of things that you can do, and just choose one of them. Okay, listening to this podcast is magical. It starts changing the way you're thinking about things, starts changing your neural pathways. The next level of that is our action that we take. So not just listening, but actually going to the show notes. Okay, that this week will be at smbwell.com/240. And look at some of these questions. And then set a timer and sit down and write them out. I said 10 minutes before, just do 2 minutes. Anything helps. We have a lot of resistance and baggage built up around money. And I promise you, as someone who has gone through some significant money struggles, had significant amount of monies taken from me, I've had significant money strife and stress, and I might even say trauma, I can stand on my 2 feet now and say, I love money. I respect money. I am so grateful for my relationship with money. And I have so many tools that I can help you get to that place too. So join the membership if you're not in there yet. And also please take the action steps today. I send you big love, warrior, like every week. I love you. There is no shame in this, no matter which person, even if you're all 4 personalities and doing all the most negative things all those personalities do, I still love you. You're doing your best. Humaning is hard. It is hard work. We're messy. Okay, humans are messy. I love you. I see you. I support you. And I'm just so grateful you're out in this world. Big love to you, warrior.
Thank you for listening to the Love Your Life show. If you want to hear more from Susie and support the show, be sure to subscribe to this podcast on iTunes. Also, leave a review and share this podcast with friends and family. Go get 'em, warriors.